Everybody, my name is David Donahue, and I'm going to help you figure out where do you start and how do you choose the right ADU for your project, your property. One, ask yourself, what do you need it for? Is it going to be for a family member? Is it going to be for rental purposes? Or you just want a little bit extra space? For a family member, you may be able to compromise a little bit on the interior finishes, where if you're looking at it for a rental, you may want to be very mindful that you have the best and nicest interior finishes that you can, so you can get the most amount of money for your rental. And if it's for extra just office space, or it's just something you may want to have family stay at occasionally, again, it may not to be, higher grade finishes, and you can save some money there. I think that as I've been working on this, I have kind of distilled it down to a couple key things that you need to ask yourself when you're looking at ADUs. Are you in a hurry for it, or are you in no hurry for it? Do you have time to wait? If you have time to wait, then you have all of the options available to you in the marketplace, and all of them that you can consider. First, and I think the most expensive, but also offers, the most involved immersive experience is hiring an architect and working with someone who's a full service architect, which means that they will then coordinate with the general contractor for sourcing materials, doing all of the permitting, and they just do actually exceptional work. There's a company, Inspired ADU, that is doing wonderful things in Northern California. They also have a fabulous website that you can get a lot of good information on. So if you're not in a hurry, really don't have that budget constraints, architects who can coordinate with general contractors themselves, it'll be the least stressful experience that's out there. But if you are like most people, you are not in a hurry, but you have a limited budget, one thing to consider that, and again, this is not that really out there that much in the marketplace, is choosing a pre-designed ADU floor plan. My company offers that product. We do not offer architectural services, but we do offer a pre-designed floor plan. I happen to be standing in one of those, which this is called the Julie, and it is 734 square feet. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. Our idea is to be able to eliminate the cost of an architect and also the time that it may take, because architects, as wonderful as they are, can take anywhere from 6 months up to a year or longer just on the design work. So if you are in no hurry and you do have a budget, look at pre-designed. You can then add in whether or not you're going to do the coordination of the various trades yourself, acting as an owner builder, or like us, we decided to have and engage a general contractor to handle all of those things. So that can save you some money there. Also, with a pre-designed floor plan, you can do a lot of the work yourself, if not all of it, and save the most money. So if you are in a hurry, let's talk about that. The only thing that I think that you should be looking at is a pre-designed floor plan and hiring a general contractor to do all of the coordination, because there's no faster way than having a pre-designed floor plan and hiring a general contractor to coordinate everything. If it's a general contractor that is working in your area and is doing a lot of work, they have those subcontractors right at their phone call. They're just a phone call away, I should say, and they're going to be able to get out there much faster than any other sort of way that you could look at it. If you're in a hurry and that you're on a budget, you can, again, go pre-designed, and you may do a lot of the work yourself. You may have the concrete foundation poured by a subcontractor, someone you can coordinate with, but maybe you want to tilt up these exterior frames and put on the roof trusses yourself because you have some family that is skilled that way. You can save a lot of money doing it that way. If you don't have the ability to go owner builder, or you don't want to go owner builder to coordinate, you can save money by going smaller. You don't need 734 square feet. Maybe you can get away with 300 square feet. So that, again, will be able to work if you're in a hurry and you have a limited budget. Now let's spend a little bit of time talking about the different types of construction that are involved in the marketplace and being offered in the marketplace for accessory dwelling units, because this is one of the most confusing areas that is not being talked about. So this is going to be important, and I promise you it will be a little obscure, and I will have more content, additional videos that will dive into each one of these topics. So different types of construction. California Building Code complies with Title 24 energy efficiencies. That is the most common, it is the most prevalent, and it will not affect the property values of your main home and the way that your ADU is being constructed. So Title 24, California building codes, companies can build them on site, or which most of this has been done on site, but where the walls and the roof were built in factories and then delivered here. The same type of construction can be completely built in a factory and then delivered here. Those are called factory built homes, commonly called modular, but I'm gonna give you a little warning. There are companies out there saying that they have modular ADUs, but they are not built to the California building codes or Title 24. We're gonna talk about that in just a second. So after California building codes, Title 24, comes the HUD code, Title 25. HUD, Housing, Urban, and Development, and they have manufactured homes. They're the ones that you see moving down the freeways in half sections typically. And you're like, oh, there's half a house being pulled down the freeway. Those are manufactured homes. That's what I spend a lot of time working with. And that product is a different product type than the way our main house was. So if we were to put a manufactured home ADU here, we would have to contend with that our main house and our ADU are different types of construction, meaning built to different codes, so that if we wanted to refinance or maybe sell it in the future and an appraiser needed to look for a comp, they'd have to find something that was built to Title 24 and had an ADU that was built to Title 25. Here's a fun fact. I looked, there's not one in a 10-mile radius where our house is in Burbank. So just spend a little time asking yourself those questions. I know it's a lot of homework, but if it affects your property value, you may want to spend some time looking at it. If it won't, hey, that's fantastic. Now let's talk about that pesky little ADU product that is just so cool because it comes out and folds, or it just gets wheeled onto your property because it's so tiny. Oh, it's a tiny home. And a lot of people are looking at those for ADUs. A word of advice, be very, very careful and really spend extra time looking into how it is gonna, one, affect your property values, but most importantly, what liability or exposure do you have it? Tiny homes, or these things that are kind of do this and are delivered and are being advertised constantly now. Those are built to the RV codes or the ANSI codes. Those are not designed for continuous habitation. They do not need permits to be installed on your property, so no one's inspecting the way that it is connected to the electrical, to the water, or to the sewer, and that could be a problem. Some may say that you're going to get a permit to see how the connections go, but most, if not all, are not having an inspection of the construction of that particular unit to see how it complies with anything except the RV codes, because it doesn't comply with anything else. And the RV codes are specifically say that it is not for continuous habitation. So if you are looking at getting one of these real inexpensive ADU products that cost $50,000 or $70,000, it is built to the RV codes. And if you're going to rent it out to somebody, you might want to think about the fact that if there was a problem and there was any sort of lawsuit against you, the homeowner, and the attorney found out that you were renting out an ADU that was built to the RV codes, not for continuous habitation, you may be liable. No one's brought it up. There hasn't been any litigation, but I'm asking and suggesting that you look at that very closely. Now, all of this can be very complex. I will be doing videos that dive into each of these categories in a lot more detail. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. I will do my very best to get back to them as soon as I can. I really appreciate your time and watching, and have a great day.